Hello and welcome back. This is Insti and I'm continuing playing Jack the Ripper. Last time we uncovered the bodies from the academy or university, whatever it was stolen because they were used as corpse dolls for seances. And yes, now we are apparently trying to find out where is Bulling. Bulling? Was it Bulling? Let's see. Mr. Wiggins, Sleek Young. Yeah, Tumblety is still missing. We are trying to find him also. But I thought we were going to find newspaper man. I think it's Bulling. Maybe. Hopefully. So Tumblety and Bulling are some persons we are trying to find. What are you doing here?
I must go to the Central News Agency.
Well, goodbye then.
Yes, Central News Agency. So I don't think there's anything left for us here. Nothing at the moment. Can I go and check what's Watson doing? Well, writing. Oh, funny. He has the same portrait as I do, I think. If I'm correct. Yes, it is. So, let's go. Where is it? Central News Agency, Fleet Street.
I must go to the Central News Agency. I'm at the press agency where Bulling works.
Yeah, he's been missing a little bit and very interesting person. There's somebody. Why can we watch the Queen's portrait? Let's start with the... Oh, nice steam engine there. What else do we have here? Oh, right. There's something over there.
The fire has almost gone out, but the stove is still burning hot.
Oh yes, oh yes. If you burn quite a lot of wood in that kind of stove, similar to that kind of, so it's almost red hot, it will keep it warm for a while. What else? There's a note over here. Well, we can't read it. Director. Apparently we are not going there. Wait a minute. Did I see something? It's right over here.
A mirror.
Interesting typewriter. I should actually check if there ever has been that kind of typewriter. To be honest, there might have been. Don't know, but it's still interesting. What do we have here?
I would imagine these are compartments to organize the paper's incoming dispatches.
Yes, I would think so too. And now you can see the face of the phone. You have eyes, nose and teeth. Now you can't unsee it. Anyways, let's talk to this person
What
here.
do you want?
It would be very informative to search Bulling's desk before meeting him, but first I must get rid of this bothersome person, perhaps by offering him a scoop.
A scoop, you say? What can we do about it? What do I have in inventory? Well, knife and spiritism. I don't think we are going to use... Wait a minute. There's a knife also. I don't think we're going to use the knife, so let's try with this.
Good evening. I'm looking for Tom Bulling, the journalist.
He isn't here. He must be sleeping off somewhere. He gave me a tip. He wanted to save a scope for me. He always gets a good dirt, and yet when he comes in here, it's just to warm his behind. Look, he pulled his desk over the stove.
Now we know Bulling's desk. Well, about that scoop.
Listen, Scoop, I'm bringing it over. Only if Bulling isn't here, I'm leaving.
Wait, what's this scoop?
Bulling promised me a reward for info. There's a charlatan who does spiritualist seances that are a little bit special. He steals corpses from the morgue, puts makeup on them, dresses them up, and then uses them as puppets.
I'll give you your dues. We'll pay you if this info is true.
I'll write down the address of the hideout on the crook's leaflet, but the police will be in on this one, so you better get there in time.
Understood. I'll go alone. Too bad for Bulling.
Hey, you wouldn't have a little something in advance?
Look on Bulling's desk. I know that he always leaves a few coins around for his snitches. Cheers.
Watson won't be pleased that I'm divulging the case, but I don't see any other way.
Yeah, bad luck, old mate. What did we get? We got a IOU. Okay.
A telephone, a device that enables you to talk with anyone in London, provided the receiver has a telephone too.
What a marvelous instrument. Why can I... Mr. Moore, I have noticed that one of your employees, Thomas Bulling, arrived at meeting in a state of inebriation. I must ask you to take care of your team's discipline. I know that you indulge this journalist given the explosive information that he manages to flush out, but this behavior is unacceptable. This should not repeat itself or I will hold you personally responsible. The Assistant Director. Ooh.
Bulling's boss, Mr. Moore, seems to be protecting the journalist.
That is interesting. So what do we have here? Trash can first. Wait a minute. Permit me to defend myself against the slanderous accusation brought against me. You were not lied to regarding the facts. Mr. Bulling spends all of his time in a most odious of pubs, but I am only doing my work as a journalist. It is during these outings that I can find the best information because I am thus in contact with the common man. Let me prove to you, dear boss, that I can bring to this agency what it deserves. The most extraordinary and the most stimulating information for something interesting, dear boss, because again, I might be totally wrong, but I do have vague remembrance that Jack the Ripper wrote one of his letters, dear boss, or something like that.
Even handwriting, yet fairly recognizable.
Yes. Coins, papers, something. Let's start with the left.
This is Bulling's desk, the one closest to the stove. These are Bulling's notes. They are of little interest at the moment, but one never knows.
Can I check them? Apparently not. Let's take the money.
Some coins. I will take them. That will avoid suspicion if the journalist returns.
Yeah, that's definitely a reason why we took the coins. To avoid suspicions.
A charred match.
Yes, it is. And what do we have
This
here?
may come in handy.
Our cloth. So I have a cloth, money, Bulling's notes, an IOU. And that's it. Oh, I forgot to check the Queen's painting or picture.
Queen Victoria, to keep the journalists on their toes, I suppose.
Yes. But what? So are you certain that there's nothing left in Bulling's desk? IOU, Bulling's notes, money, cloth. Come on. There has to be something. Oh? Oh, now we can interact with
The
this.
fire has almost gone out, but the stove is still burning hot. Bulling recently used the stove.
Okay, so maybe we use the cloth then?
A torn piece of blotting paper. Curious. It looks like someone wanted to destroy this piece of blotting paper that had red ink on it. I can make out a few more letters, but backwards. I need something to help me.
Plop, 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 plop. I was thinking ink plops and probably came plopably. Not my day at all. Probably we will need a mirror, and we had a mirror over here, so we have those ink pops surveyed. So what was it? This.
By putting this piece of blotting paper in front of the mirror, I can read what is written.
Information on the Whitechapel killer. Call by telephone WA.
Apparently, our journalist gets his information by telephone too. Sadly, the name is almost erased.
Yes, sadly. So we have done everything, and apparently now we do something with the telephone.
If I telephone one of Bulling's contacts pretending to be his assistant, I might learn something of interest.
What am I supposed to do now? That's probably
This page has some light ink stains. It contains a list of telephone numbers.
It does.
This page has some light ink stains. It contains a list of telephone numbers.
Basically, it's probably the Wolsby, but we don't have a number for it. Am I understanding correctly that Wolsby's number is this picture, which would be this, and the number would be 1875? Well, there's nothing to lose for, at least to try. 1875. Better go this way then. 70 and 2, 3, 5 is the number you should not count. Let's see. What do I do? Probably pull the handle.
Walesby 1875, an ingenious way to save his contact. Central, Walesby 1875, if you will. Thank you, I will wait.
Walesby, I am listening.
Hello, my dear man. I'm calling on behalf of Tom Bulling.
Bulling? So you know where this hypocrite, this liar, this...
Not at all. He is currently unobtainable. In the meantime, he has left me with a note asking me to pursue his work, and he told me that you were aware...
That's just great. I dropped everything off at his agency, but he didn't even bother to do the same for me. Tell me he at least gave you the information that I was asking in return.
I am ready, sir. I'm listening.
Do the police have a suspect for the bizarre theft of cigarettes and carrots that took place at the Commercial Street Market?
The what now? Do the police have suspect for the bizarre theft of cigarettes and carrots that took place at the Commercial Street Market? When he comes home from work, goes around in circles, called an ecologist. Vote for me, I, is searching for a rabbit, your best representative, a civil servant, he's never tired, and that coughs. Scotland Yard, makes a lot of noise, in secrecy, the head of the Tories, he will surely be, has already read the newspaper. Is that some sort of a code? So, I need 3 things down here. When he comes, vote for me, civil servant, Scotland Yard. Could it be Scotland Yard? Is searching. He's never makes a lot of noise. Will surely be. Huh. Can this be? Oh no. Oh no. I have no idea. I think this is... Okay, I'm going to do something stupid. Well, Scotland Yard is looking for... Is searching for a rabbit. Scotland Yard goes around in circles, but then that cause insecrecy has that could make sense. Goes around in circles, but then what to choose here? Because I have to think that it's per column. Okay, I have to put this. Is searching for a rabbit, but insecrecy or that cause coughs. This would be hilarious if this is correct. So it's got like
I think, according to Bulling, that Inspector Lestrade's team is looking for a rabbit with a bad cough.
Ah, damned Bulling. One day he'll be in some serious trouble for mocking the police. And now, can you tell me, with regards to the parliamentary scandal, what did the head of the Whig Party respond to the Tories who were treating him as a great incompetent?
Seriously? Okay. Is that something that almost everything could have worked? I don't know. Let's go. The head of the Tories, he... With regards of parliamentary scandal, what did the head of Whig Party respond to the Tories who are treating him as a great incompetent? Maybe vote for me. Vote for me. I will surely be your best representative, maybe, but what did the head of the Whig Party respond to Tories who are treating him as a great incompetent? Goes around in circles. So is this going to be hilarious or not hilarious? The head of Tories, he's never tired, makes a lot of noise. He makes a lot of noise, but no. Vote for me. I will surely be your best representative. That makes sense at least, but I don't know if that's correct. Vote for me. I make I make a lot of noise. It should be makes a lot of noise. This could also work, but he is the problem. For me, I never tire and blah blah blah, and doesn't go around circles. I think it's searching, and we already used the rabbit, so I go with vote for me. I will surely be your best representative. No idea if this is correct.
According to Bulling, the head of the Whigs said, "Vote for me, I will be your best representative."
Good. That'll make for a good paper. There is one last question. According to a government social study, civil servants make the best husbands. Why?
When he comes home from work, he's never tired. When he comes home from work, he's never tired and has already read the newspaper. I'll go with that. I don't know if that makes sense.
I believe I can confirm that it is, because civil servants aren't tired and have already read the paper when they come home from work.
Very true. Good. It seems like Bulling has finally done his work.
As everything is all in order, can you now tell me where the information is that you sent to the agency?
Yes. There is a large brown envelope near the dispatch cabinet. It's in there that we exchange our tips with Bulling.
1,000 thanks. Goodbye, sir.
My salutations to Bulling.
Okay, to be honest, I have no idea what happened there. But apparently we managed to choose correctly. And there's the letter. Before we continue to the letter, I'll go get something to drink. I'll be right back. And let's go and see what is in the envelope.
There are several documents in this file. Let's see.
Spring Hill Jack, the Terror of London. Fantastical character, first appearance 1837. Associated with several suspicious muggings and robberies taking place in London and other parts of England. Description: a diabolical appearance, bat's wings, horns, blue flames coming out of the mouth and or eyes, etc. Identifying marks: all of the eyewitnesses speak of his capacity to make leaps and of superhuman distance, where his nickname. Conclusion: having become the very example of the urban legend of our century, this character fascinates as much by his demonic and fantastical aura as by the fact that he has never been caught by the police. Important: at the time of the attacks against the young woman, Lucy Scales and Jane Aslop, the papers covering the events had record sales for weeks. That's why Spring Hill Jack is the recurring hero of cheap fantasy publications and theater pieces. Popular and financial success guaranteed.
I wonder why Bulling is studying this tale about Spring Hill Jack so meticulously.
List in pencil: The Terror of London, Spring Hill Jack, The Phantom Killer, The Butcher's Blade, The Whitechapel Butcher, Dr. Death, The London Ripper, The Bleeder, The Bloody Reaper. Oh, he's trying to come up with great names.
What does that mean?
Mr. Charles Moore, I thank you for this testimony of the Whitechapel killer that you followed. Not easy authentication. Do not hand over to the press without my invitation. Thank you for your collaboration and your discretion. We won't forget this, Inspector Abberline. Testimony in quotation marks.
Well, well, a piece of information about the murders transmitted exclusively to the police without informing the press. That has piqued my curiosity. Perhaps I should go to the police station to get more information.
Tom, about the letter. Given the thanks from Inspector Abberline, I think that they took the bait, even if they were defending themselves. Think of the second. We must be ready if he kills again. Either way, we must keep up the correspondence. Be responsive. This idea will save us. We'll get the information firsthand and we will make history. But stay quiet and keep a low profile. I am not really in the know, and you will be the first one who gets it if there's trouble. CM.
What does that mean? I've inspected everything, but there's no sign of Bulling. He must have dashed off to his HQ, the Wasp's Nest. However, before I go to see him, I should find out about this mysterious information. It could help me get something out of the journalist. To the police station, then.
The police station, then. Yes. Let's make a save. Okay. And to the Whitechapel and police station.
Let's go to the police station.
Yes, let's. It's again night. Yes, night.
Come, come. Back again, are we? Come this way, good man. The inspector has a few questions to ask you. Here is the man, Inspector.
Congratulations, Humphreys. So, my lad, one would say that you owe us a bit of an explanation for having left something with us. What is your full name and profession?
Sherlock Holmes, consulting detective.
Well, how about that?
Mr. Holmes, can you explain this get-up, your presence in the neighbourhood despite my instructions, as well as this most opportune restitution of jewels?
Firstly, I should tell you that not being under your command, I never understood what you said as an order, but rather as advice. I thought I would be wise to follow them to a certain extent. I intended to explain the stolen goods sooner or later. My presence here will allow me to fill you in on a few conclusions that...
If it is in regard to the Whitechapel murders, it won't help us much. We have no doubt that we will be revealing the identity of the murderer to the people in the area in a day or two.
I'm impressed, Inspector, and I offer you my sincerest congratulations. Nonetheless, you should investigate a certain doctor.
Listen, Holmes, let us do our work. You've rid us of a great pain in the rear end by finding those jewels for us. It's weeks of work that you've saved us. But I think you're a little underqualified for a case like that of Jack the Ripper. Until it's over, I demand that you do not set foot in the area. Is that clear?
I take note of your advice, Inspector. You mentioned Jack the Ripper. Pardon me, but you know the name of the murderer?
Oh, it's from a letter that the Central News Agency sent our way. It was written by the killer. And even if it can't be proven, it must be recognised that the signature is striking. This information is confidential, and I would ask you to keep it to yourself, Holmes.
Can I have a little look? Out of mere curiosity, Inspector. Then I shall disappear.
In that case, I don't see any objection.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Cher Patron, I keep on hearing the police have caught me, but they won't fix me just yet. I have laughed when they look so clever and talk about being on the right track. That joke about leather apron gave me real fits. I am down on horse and I shan't quit ripping them till I do get buggled. Grand work the last job was. I gave the lady no time to squeal. How can they catch me now? I love my work and want to start again. You will soon hear of me with my funny little games. I said some of the proper red stuff in a ginger beer bottle over the last job to write with, but it went thick like glue and I can't use it. Red ink is bit enough. Fit enough? I hope. Haha. The next job I do shall clip the lady's ears off and send to the police officers just for jolly, wouldn't you? Keep this letter back till I do a bit more work. Bit. Okay. Bit more work, then give it out straight. My knife's so nice and sharp. I want to get to work right away if I get a chance. Good luck, yours truly, Jack the Ripper. Don't mind me giving the trade name. P.S. Wasn't good enough to post his envelope. I got all the red ink of my was it good enough to post this before I got all the red ink of my hands, cause it curse it no luck yet. They say I'm a doctor now, haha. Okay. I think it's a curse or cause. I don't know. I think this is a pretty much authentic text from the letters of the Jack the Ripper. Of course, we don't know if every letter was sent by a real Jack the Ripper. I think a few of them are thought as being fake. I don't know. And again, red ink, which is interesting. Of course, this would point towards our dear reporter. He could be a suspect in this game, or it could be a red herring. Also, he could be writing it himself, these letters, to make more noise about his news, so making him seeing more, getting job. But anyways, interesting nonetheless, and we will see. Hopefully, I read it. This is a little bit hard. And yeah, signature Jack the Ripper. Good luck, yours truly. Oh, and he definitely did underline few of the words in his letters, at least some of the letters, and type those haha. Interesting.
Me? Not up to discovering who Jack the Ripper is? Well, we'll soon find out, won't we, Inspector Abberline? I know who wrote the Dear Boss letter signed Jack the Ripper that Inspector Abberline gave me, and above all, I now know why. This Tom Bulling was inspired by this fantastical character to build a myth out of the Whitechapel killer. Perhaps he would be receptive if I shared my discovery about him and prevent him from accusing Squippy. I must find him at once. My best bet would be to try my luck at the pub.
Okay, so let's make a save here, and we are going towards the pub. And unfortunately, Abberline, you really insulted Sherlock Holmes here. Obviously, we are not going to end our investigations now. I think it was around here. I'll take a little walk so we can suck the atmosphere. Oh, it's
Holmes, I got your message, and here I am.
Oh, yes, here you are.
Let's hurry, Holmes. This neighborhood makes me ill at ease.
Okay, and let's see.
Perfect, Watson. That oaf Bluto is looking for us with evil intentions, and he may be hiding here. I will try to get more information inside. You, Watson, will be our lookout, and at the slightest suspicious sound, do not hesitate to call a constable on his rounds.
Okay, and here we have our journalist. Hello there, good sir.
Good evening, Mr. Bulling.
We know each other?
No, however, I have some information that may be of interest to you.
Talk, my friend. A pint for you if what you say is worth something. Does it have to do with the Whitechapel murders?
Indeed, I know the identity of the man who wrote a letter to the police, a letter entitled Dear Boss, in which the author claims to be the Whitechapel murderer and is signed Jack the Ripper.
What?
It's a journalist who was inspired by Spring-Heeled Jack in order to strengthen the credibility and the seriousness of his agency. This new Jack will give him some first-hand information that he, in turn, will dole out sparingly to the authorities, as well as some carefully distilled indiscretions that the big papers will come to beg of him. He plays both sides off against one another and becomes the chief orchestrator of the rumor. He wrote this letter in this very spot, and he has red ink on his fingers. Like you.
What exactly are you after, my friend?
You've been threatening a certain Squibby to distribute a telegram naming him as a possible suspect in these murders in revenge for an old feud. I would suggest you don't write this note and that you leave Squibby alone.
I'd forgotten about the existence of that rapscallion. I threw that at him when I was visiting the station to get the dope. You should have seen his face.
You must also stop sending these letters that waste the authorities' precious time.
Right, well, I don't even know what you're talking about. I have a great relationship with the Bobbies. Just ask around. I don't have to answer to nobody. Now leave me alone.
I think he got the idea, so goodbye to you, sir.
Farewell, sir.
Good riddance.
Yeah, I can't remember the theory about the Jack the Ripper letters that are some of them considered as real or some of them fake. I probably checked that at some point.
Let's hurry to the police station, Watson. We are close to our goal. Squibby will be able to reveal what he knows about Tumblety.
Oh.
Squibby, so that's it. You're a free man again. We were just coming to the station to find you.
Shh.
Yeah, the bobbies agreed to let me go, and I came to see Bluto before ferreting you out. So, you've seen the newspaper man?
Yes, he is in the pub and everything is taken care of, but I'm waiting to hear what you have to say about Dr. Tumblety.
Okay, but we have to be quick. One night, I goes to see Bluto in his hideout that ain't far from the boarding house where this Tumblety bloke has a room. I see him coming in too. He must have been on one real binge. To the point, the Tumblety fella was there, and he smiles at me, all nice like. He tells me he's a great Yankee doctor, but my business interests him. I'm interested, I tell him, but I'm not the type to just jump right in without getting to know a person, see? He invites me around to his room to talk business, just him and me. We empty a bottle or two, and all of a sudden, like, he wants to show me what he's got in this big trunk that he always carts around places. I just about vomited, see? In these jars, just like pickles, you know, there were pieces of meat. And he whispers that it's the lady bits of some old dames. He called them peckybins. I call them love killers, I would. Yuck! After that, he starts to go on about rich folk. They ain't nothing but dogs, and I won't tell you the worst of it. Then he comes all close to me and puts his sweaty hand on my leg. He was one of them types, not me. I don't wait a second before I give him a good thrashing, and I start running and let go of him, and he still wants to see me again just to talk business. But then I had to do time, so business.
Do you know where he can be found?
Why, ain't he in his digs? Maybe he got to liking life behind bars too. I heard that in some jobs there's a way to.
Thank you for your information, and we'll meet again, my friend. Here is the sum I promised to get you out of London.
Ciao, fella. I've just got a little score to settle with Bluto, and I'm heading for the country.
What's happening here?
Lipski!
Okay. I think we
My
had
dear Watson, we must strike while the iron is hot. We have avoided meeting Dr. Tumblety until now. The time has come to do so.
Do you have an opinion, Holmes?
We must assure ourselves that the factor collector of female organs and a murderer who removes said organs are resident in the same area at the same time is nothing more than coincidence.
So we need to check the room now, and what else? Oh yes, I was think that I checked it. Apparently,
I thought that you wouldn't bring me back your keys. It's you, Mr. Holmes. Good evening, Dr. Watson.
the keys.
Indeed, it is I again. One of your tenants left without returning his keys?
Yes, it's Dr. Tumblety whom we spoke about. Shortly after your last visit here, some constables came and asked me a few questions regarding him. Barely had they left than the doctor came barreling around a street corner and rushed up into his room upstairs. A little while afterwards, while I was tidying, I heard a thud in his room and a rush down the stairs. He left with most of his bags, but without returning his keys. You can go up and see if you wish. The door is still open.
Okay, apparently the authenticity of the letters has been questioned, and they are mostly thought about being hoaxes. So yeah, which is probably very understandable, actually.
Careful, Watson. Do not walk around here until I've inspected these marks.
I know, Holmes, I know. I understand your methods.
Of course, there are.
You have your rule and magnifying glass. I thought that you had forgotten them, Holmes.
I never forget the essentials, my dear Watson.
Apparently no, and we have changed our clothing also, if you may notice. And these are the same footprints as in the Nemesis, if I remember correctly. If they're a size 9 and French, then...
Size 13.
Now those are huge. Size 13, okay.
Right foot, light trails. The man was running. Right foot, light trails. The man was running.
Do I need to find anything else?
Right foot, light...
Okay. Yeah, so basically...
This isn't water.
Oh.
Going by its sticky texture and odour, I'd say we're dealing with formalin. These are the footprints of a tall man who had recently stepped in formalin and who left this room in a hurry.
Well, can I walk on it and enter the room now, Holmes?
Well, apparently we can. But yes, they are highly questionable about those authenticity of the letters, and I think they're at least from hell, and probably the rest of them have been have disappeared. So there's no point to that. To even there's no possibility to even check those. I mean, we have something over there. Over here. And if interested, apparently there has been a suspicion that one journalist faked few of the letters. Do not understand how you found yourself in this situation. Your passionate discussion on the legitimacy of this war should have convinced more than one. I still remember when you imitated him during that meeting. You struck that very characteristic pose and you exclaimed, "Vicksburg is the key. The war can never be brought to a close until that key is in our pocket." We all applauded. I am sure that even Lincoln himself would have applauded. During these dark hours, it was rare to have the occasion to laugh. So many deaths, ending with our much-loved president, killed by this coward and left to join those of the victory at Gettysburg, who courageously fell so that the next day the key would be in our pocket.
If this letter is addressed to him, it would appear our doctor is a veteran of the American Civil War. Vicksburg is the key. Now, that is interesting.
That is interesting. And familiar name, I have read it sometime, but I can't remember.
These footprints are the same as those found in front of the door.
Yes, what else? There's that... I'll check everything around from here. Lovely paint. I was going to say painting, but I think that's a photograph. Let's check the table first. Dear Francis, it is impossible for us to meet again. I am feeling terrible, as pursuing our relationship further would put both my marriage and my reputation in danger. I must return to that life of love, fleeting and physical, in which a few coins to these young men assures corporal peace and anonymity. The growing feelings that I have for you make me scared, and I would prefer to shun this passion for the fear that it may never leave me. Perhaps we shall cross paths again one day in a discreet location where like-minded men meet. I know that you frequent them regularly. You never hide yourself. For my part, I will spend more time with my wife and girls in order to find the serenity, and I hope to throw the veil of oblivion over our passionate embraces. All the best, Charles. Charles, fleeting, physical, okay. So, if we are correct that Tumbledee's first name is Francis, he had a relationship with some man called Charles. Obviously, at these times, it's not a great thing to be open at these things. My dear Francis, it is in putting aside our common past and thus as a friend that I am sending you these words. I have learned from some mutual friends of your recent trouble with the law. You should be more careful. England has nothing in common with the Wild West, but her seedy areas can be just as dangerous. Your attraction to young rogues will cost you dearly one of these days, whether it be the end of an alley or the benches of a jury. A man of your quality and fortune does not have to frequent the hovels and bring his pistol with him everywhere. It is not necessary to use violence to find partners, unless this violence pleases you. Certain circles that we used to frequent are still open to you. Take advantage of this healthy and respectable company rather than demeaning yourself with these destitute lads. And pray, get rid of that god-awful chest. Who knows what the people whom you show while bragging must think and speak of it? The man you once loved, Henry. Oh, Francis been around. Interesting. Violence to find partners.
This Dr. Tumblety seems to be attracted to men more than women, that much is clear. So, the doctor has a handgun, and he would use it to restrain young men, perhaps.
Okay, that would be interesting. And what is he showing? Butterfly collection?
There are a few pieces of a large glass jar in this puddle. The man who left the footprints on the ground must have walked in it while fleeing. These footsteps must be those of Squibby. He must have hit Tumblety, who dropped one of his jars.
And he ran out. Elementary, Holmes.
Perfect, Watson.
And I see an organ in the pool. Great. Right. I guess it's not a butterfly collection per se, but human parts.
Going by its size, this enormous trunk must be a wardrobe. These brackets are rather unusual. What do you think, Watson?
Let's see, Holmes. These are the names of the battles from the American Civil War.
Oh. Some there is a little bit. I have heard that also Chancellorsville, Antietam. I have heard of this. Gettysburg, definitely. Vicksburg is something I haven't heard. And Appomattox Courthouse. I think Fort Sumter is something first of the battles. It's that one that actually started the war. Gettysburg, what are we supposed to do?
I am under the impression that the dates written correspond to the battles, Holmes, but one is missing.
Okay.
Let's see. 5 latches, each fitted with a 6-number combination system.
Okay, and I guess we put the numbers here. But we can't put the... If we put the dates, let's say 0205, so we don't put 18, we put 63, 68 or something like that. What are these? Okay, flags. And people who are participating, but is it so that whoever won? This is going to be problematic, to say the least. I think Gettysburg was. It was a summer. I think this is a Gettysburg date. So that would be 07 63. The victory. Okay, what flag we are going to use? I have no idea about those flags. Do the flags change depending on... do the hats change depending on the flag? Okay. I guess that was correct. So obviously I can check this. If I get the dates correct, then I can just try these. So we used Gettysburg. Is this because I'm almost certain this is one of the first, or even if it could be even the first battle of the Civil War. So would this go like first, second, and so 61, 62, 63, 63. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I don't know the Vicksburg then. So let's try. Fort Sumter was probably then 61, if my assumption goes correctly. This is interesting puzzle. I do somewhat, a little bit, very little about the American Civil War, but if it's just the years and flag, 2 flags, I probably could get it through. But overall, this is very hard because I think this was a Southern victory, because I think the first battle was Southern. Okay, that much is true. So we have 2 open. So probably I'll try with these years and then just go flag and a hat, and go with that, because there are more flags and hats than I can even understand. So let's go with the assumption that the second battle is Antietam, and that would be then we have used 61, so now it would be 62, so 1709. Yeah, I know. Can I... right click doesn't do anything. Interesting. It's a date and month. Fortunately, it was date and month and not month and date. I just started how it's normally for us, so... And also it's similar to here, so yeah, that probably is the clue. So that would be 62. Now the question is, who was the victor in this? What are the flags? Oh. Okay. So the year was correct. Fortunately, the hat was right one. I had no idea about these flags. So Chancellor's will would be 61, 62. We have used this 63. So this has to be 63 also. I'm still not sure why we have these numbers. So yes, 02, 05, 63. Again, it's earlier than Gettysburg. I'll go with the... Well, I might as well start with this flag and check the hats. Okay, apparently it was correct then. I still don't know this. Is this a regimental flags or what? So what are the... because, yeah. I have no idea. I have no idea. It's open then. But Vicksburg. I have no idea what Vicksburg is. I don't think it's this one. I'm not certain, but let's try. But Watson said one is missing. And why I go... I might as well test. Okay, nope. Nope. I'm not certain if I have already gone. Now I'm. So no. What is Vicksburg? And what about this? I can't move this or this. Anything I can... What was the letter said about the Vicksburg? Vicksburg is the key. Where should I know about the Vicksburg? Can you help me?
What are we doing, Holmes?
Apparently not. Is there any clue about Vicksburg? I probably have to check that because I have no idea. Or I'm missing something very obvious. Huh. Do we have any dates? Not this one, but no. Vicksburg is a key. The bar can never be brought to a close until the key is in our pocket. Okay, I honestly have to check the Vicksburg.
Going by its size, this
Can you tomorrow? Gettysburg tomorrow the key. Is it connected to Gettysburg? But I still don't know the date. Okay, I have to check. Be right back. Okay, I'm just checking Wikipedia. The Siege of Vicksburg, May 18 to July 4th, 1863. Okay. And what was... There was apparently one camel killed. It was a major Confederate and Union victory. So what was it? 04. Yeah, there it was 7 and 63 also. And I'll go. Nope.
Elementary.
Okay. Yeah. Somehow, I don't know how you're supposed to know that. To be honest, any of those, because although for me, I have actually read about little bits, some bits and pieces here and there about US Civil War, but overall, most of the time, it's the names I remember. Gettysburg is something I remember because I have the movie, so yeah, that makes it easier. But overall, they are just names mostly. I know the basic years and whatnot, but not details. So that's a pretty hard puzzle in that regard. Especially with even the dates, but the flags and hats. I still don't know how they're supposed to be understood or whatnot. Anyways, I digress. Let's check what we have here.
This is dreadful, Holmes. This trunk contains 4 jars in which organs are floating.
Watson, can you tell me at a glance what these organs are?
I would say that they are parts of female reproductive organs.
Are these specimens fresh?
No, and I am quite certain of it. From the colour and appearance, I'd say these organs have been in these jars for several months, if not years.
Let's go to Baker Street.
Is there someone here?
Yes.
What's going on, Finley? You seem to be in a panic.
The 2 police officers wanted to know if someone suspicious had entered here. The Whitechapel killer has struck again, and if I understood correctly, he killed 2 women in the past few hours.
Where?
I don't know. The police didn't tell me anything.
Quick, Holmes. We must catch up with them.
Certainly not, Watson. Mr. Finley, do you know if the doctor had any other pieces of luggage up there apart from this trunk?
1 or 2, I think.
Do you take care of the doctor's laundry?
My wife does laundry for the tenants once a week. The sheets likewise.
Would you be kind enough to let us know as soon as possible if the doctor shows up again?
Certainly. I'm just worried that he won't be back, you see, and I'm annoyed about my keys.
Holmes, I don't follow. The Whitechapel killer is, at this very moment, very close by, and we are just staying put, twiddling our thumbs.
The Whitechapel killer has always been nearby, and what will we do? Go back to the scene of the crime or crimes and mix with the onlookers and trample the crime scenes even more? No, our time will come. Let's return to Baker Street.
Let's go back to Baker Street. Home, sweet home.
Okay, apparently we are doing it.
We were less than 200 feet away from the first victim a few minutes before she was murdered. We might even have heard the murderer's voice. And we haven't done a thing for the past week.
You're the one not doing anything, Watson. For my part, I have been working. And, as you know, I've made good use of this week by tracking down and verifying all of the solid facts on these 2 murders to write up the notes that are on my desk, read them over again and try to gain a bit of perspective.
Okay. Note on the murder of Lestrade at Dutfield's yard. Yeah, Dutfield's. Certain information that I have collected must be verified. Lestrade, nickname Longlegs, 45 years old, height 5'5", 5 feet 5 inches, occasional prostitute. She lived for the past 3 years in a stormy relationship with a certain kidney. Waterside laborer, 36 years of age, whom she left a few days earlier. She charged him with assault but failed to appear in court and the case was thrown out. The victim was discovered dead by one of Louis Deemshoots at 1 o'clock in the morning on September 30th. The man's first thought was to verify if his wife in the building next door was still alive before sounding the alarm. The 2 doctors who came at the police request to the scene of the crime in the moments after the discovery of the corpse put the time of death after 12:46 a.m. Cause of death, hemorrhage due to a throat injury. The weapon was a small knife with a large blunt edge. The verification of this statement is necessary. Could this wound have been caused by another tool? Neither the body nor the clothes were damaged, soiled, or disturbed by the killer. The right hand was open, stained with blood and resting on the chest. The left hand was on the ground, partially closed, holding the packet of pastilles. The location of the discovery was a courtyard called Dutfield's Yard, whose door led on to Burner Street in Whitechapel. The victim was found stretched out on the ground a few inches from the wall of one of the buildings served by this courtyard, the International Working Men's Club. This association, composed mainly of Jews originally from Russia and Poland, were organizing a conference that night on the subject, "Why Should Jews Be Socialists?" presided by Mr. Maurice Eagle. The meeting ended around 11:30 p.m., but many members remained to debate and sing within the premises of the association. An American present that evening declared to have been in courtyard at 12:20 a.m. and went into the street and didn't see anything unusual. He then returned back inside the club, but his estimation of time spent outside is approximate at best. Two witnesses were quoted by the press: Constable Smith, who was doing his round in the area on the night in question, and a Hungarian by the name of Schwartz, who made his statement at the police station accompanied by an interpreter because he does not speak English. The transcription of these statements by the press should be treated with caution. It would be advisable, if at all possible, to consult the exact content. Observe the clothing worn by the victim as well as her position at the time of the discovery of the body. Clothing: long black cloth jacket, fur trimmed around the bottom with a red rose and white maidenhair fern pinned to it. Black skirt, black crape bonnet, checked neck scarf, knotted on left side, dark brown velveteen bodice, two light serge petticoats, one white chemise, white stockings, spring-sided boots, two handkerchiefs. One is noticed to have fruit stains on it, a thimble, a piece of wool wound around the card. In the pocket in her underskirt, a key, a small piece of a lead pencil, 6 large and 1 small button, a comb, a broken piece of comb, metal spoon, a hook, as from a dress, a piece of muslin, 1 or 2 small pieces of paper. Okay. Note on the murder of Catherine Eddowes. Catherine Eddowes, 46 years old, height 5 foot, occasional prostitute. She had a regular relationship for 7 years with the John Kelly, a man of no regular employment and about the same age as the victim. The victim was found dead at 1:44 a.m. on September 30th by P.C. Watkins, who was on his rounds. He secured the area by calling to the watchman of the warehouse located some feet from the crime scene. According to the doctor who arrived at the scene at 2:18 a.m., the victim had just been dead for a half an hour. Unlikely, but we know from experience how hard it is to precisely establish the time of death when the corpse has been very mistreated. Cause of death: hemorrhage due to the throat wound. The medical examiner also confirmed that additional extractions committed to the corpse were done post-mortem by a right-handed man possessing a long-bladed knife. The victim was subject to numerous mutilations. The victim was found stretched out in the dark corner of Mitre Square, notorious meeting spot for prostitutes and their clients because of its remote, poorly lit location. It should be noted that the victim was freed from the Bishopsgate Street Police trunk tank at 1 o'clock in the morning. Mitre Square was visited at 1:30 a.m. by P.C. Watkins coming from Mitre Street and at 1:42 a.m. by P.C. Harvey coming from the Church Passage. The two police constables didn't see anything suspicious in the area, but it should be noted that the P.C. Harvey didn't enter into the Mitre Square, unlike P.C. Watkins. The watchman who came to lend a hand to Watkins at the time of the discovery of the body had been awoken during the time of the crime. His store is located a few feet from the spot where the victim was dying and didn't hear anything until the police's call. Firstly, we must note that the clothing worn by Catherine Eddowes are very characteristic. I think in particular the patterned green chintz skirt as well as the white men's vest. A few of her possessions, including the thimble, were found around the corpse. The white apron was found on the corpse with a part missing. Thus, this missing part, previously resewn, thus ensuring authenticity, was found at the 2:55 a.m. on the night of the murder by PC Alfred Long, who states that the object wasn't there at his preceding patrol at 2:20 a.m. The piece of bloody apron was found in the entrance hall leading to the stairs of 108 to 119 Wentworth model dwellings on Goldstone Street. At the right of the entrance, just above the apron, was found the following inscription in chalk. The Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. The Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. The Wentworth model dwellings building almost exclusively occupied by Israelites and Goldstone Street being the site of a very popular, much frequented market, he decided to erase the inscription before the day broke. Kate Eddowes' belongings. Wearing at the time of the murder, black straw bonnet trimmed in green and black velvet with black beads, black string worn tied to the head, black cloth jacket trimmed around the collar and cuffs with imitation fur and around the pockets in black silk braid and fur. Large metal buttons, dark green cinch skirt, three flounces, brown button on waistband. The skirt is patterned with Michaelmas daisies and golden lilies. Man's white vest, matching buttons down front. Brown linsey bodies. Black velvet collar with brown buttons down front. Grey stuffed petticoat with white waistband. Very old green alpaca skirt worn as an undergarment. Very old ragged blue skirt with red flounces. Okay, it's probably flounces then. Light twill lining worn as undergarment. White calico chemise. Pair of men's lace-up boots, mohair laces, right boot repaired with red thread, one piece of red gauze silk worn as a neckerchief, one large white pocket handkerchief, one large white cotton handkerchief with red and white bird's eye border, two unbleached calico pockets, tape strings, one blue striped bed ticking pocket, brown ribbed knee stockings, darned with white cotton. Possession: 2 small blue bags, 2 short black clay pipes, 1 tin box containing tea, 1 tin box containing sugar, 1 tin matchbox empty, 12 pieces white rag, 1 piece coarse linen, white, 1 piece of blue and white shirting, three cornered, sorry, 1 piece of red flannel with pins and needles, 6 pieces soap, 1 small tooth comb, small tooth comb. Anyways, 1 white handle table knife, 1 metal spoon, 1 red leather cigarette case with white metal fittings, 1 bell hemp, 1 piece of old white apron with repair, several buttons and a thimble, mustard tin containing 2 pawn tickets, 1 in the name of Emily Burrell, 52 white robe, dated August 31st, 9 for man's flannel shirt. The other is in the name of Jane Kelly of 6 Dorset Street and dated September 28, 2 shillings for a pair of men's boots. Both addresses are false. Printed handbill, portion of a pair of spectacles, 1 red mitten. Ooh.
I have read and reread them, but give me something to do then. A task where I can get stuck in, because
Find me a slaughterhouse that will give us exclusive use of its block for an hour. And find me, in your opinion, which common animal shares the most characteristics with humans from a
Pig.
physiological point of view?
Pig?
I don't even know why I asked that question. Pray, find a dozen fresh pig's heads, Watson. Not big heads, I prefer small ones.
Sows?
That's it, Watson. As soon as you have done that, let me know. I request that you search in Whitechapel. Who knows, perhaps you will learn something about where Dr. Tumblety may be hiding. There is also no shortage of slaughterhouses and pig's heads in those parts.
I'm in control of Watson. Well, I think this is the end of this episode, and on next episode we are hunting Pig's Head. I have a vague recollection what we are going to do with those. There's a little hint. We are also using knives. And what else? I can't remember. But anyways, yes. Interesting episode. Something's clear, something not clear. Tumblety could be a suspect, could be just a red herring. We have 2 bodies. Apparently, at least for now, we are not going to search them. We only read the papers, and yeah. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye.